A good evening to you. Welcome on in to Daily World Baseball Classic Live here on March 8th. We have games tonight and tomorrow morning. So, Rammer, if you're watching this right now, you might as well stay up another 10 minutes and see the first pitch of Panama versus the what game did I tell you? We were just sitting here. We were doing our pregame meeting just a few seconds ago because it is Panama and the Netherlands that are getting ready to play. Both teams, by the way, already 1-0 in the tournament.
I watched the Netherlands last night beat my Cuban team, and I was very disappointed because I'm Viva Cuba, as you know, and so it wasn't really a very good game. It was quite dull, actually. It looked like players who it kind of looked like a spring training game, to be quite honest. Um, but yeah, so here's my question: you got the Netherlands, you got Holland, and who are the Dutch?
No, it's an age old question, Rammer, that we've been looking for the answer for several years now, as we as we try to figure that out. But Rammer, we have this is where the games start to ramp up now. So we told you about that game. Also tonight, you have Australia and Korea. So we're going to see our first Cardinal in action in the game tonight with Tommy
Tommy
Edman
Edman.
as that game. Actually, I believe that game's already underway too, as well. So you have that game going on right now, and then tomorrow morning, Rammer, you have a game tomorrow morning. Panama, or I'm sorry, not Panama, Italy and Cuba play at 5 a.m. tomorrow. And what I'm going to say is probably one of the marquee matchups here in the pool play game is China and Japan, also playing at 4 a.m. Central Time, 5 a.m. where you are in New York for the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament, because starting for Japan is Shohei Ohtani.
That's pretty exciting. That's pretty good
Yeah.
stuff. And in their exhibition games, watching Nootbaar and Otani connect is kind of fun. A lot of people are obviously making a lot more of it than it is, but it's fun nonetheless. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we will. I mean, we could sit here. We could talk about that. Yesterday on the show, we kind of ran you through a few of the teams that were making their debut in the tournament, and I think that's a lot of what the pool play games, especially these early pool play games, is going to be. As you kind of look around at the teams and you try to figure out, okay, if I'm watching this game, who am I looking for? Because the game. Let's just take, for example, let's take Australia. For example, they have two guys on the team with Major League Baseball experience. Alex Hall, a catcher who was called up by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2020 and did not play, and Aaron Whitfield, who made his Major League debut with Minnesota in 2020 and then last year was called up by the Angels. So you have two guys on the team that have, I don't even know, is it a cup of coffee? Do you call it a cup of coffee if you get called up and you never actually play for the team?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it counts.
Okay.
It's
I mean, you
it's
know
more
what? Hey,
like
they have
it's
more
more like
major
a
league
tiny
experience than you and I.
it's a tiny espresso cup.
And then Team Korea, this is one of those. This is a team, Rammer, that could possibly make the Final Four. This is a team that you would expect to be in the quarterfinals for sure. They will get out of pool play. You would expect that, and then maybe have a chance at making a run at one of the four semifinal spots. So you have on this roster Yunjin Ryu, who is should have been there but not able to participate due to a rehab assignment that he has. You have a lot of other players. I'm not, you know what? It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm not going to sit here and try to pronounce names. I'm just going to be honest about that. But we know you have Tommy Edman. You know you have Jung Hoo
No,
Lee, who's
you
coming.
pronounced that okay. Tommy
Thank
Edman,
you.
you did really well.
And then you also have the Korean baseball MVP, Jung Hoo Lee, who is going to be playing in this game as well. He, by the way, Jung Hoo Lee, we talked yesterday about what the nickname was of who is Daddy Pie. Is that Daddy Pie? Is that the Cuban manager? I think
I,
Daddy Pie. Jung Hoo Lee is the grandson of Wind, because his father, Korean baseball legend Jung Boom Lee, was the son of Wind. So he is the grandson of Wind. So if you want nicknames to go by in the tournament, there you
That's
go. You
pretty
have a few.
involved.
Yeah. And then the Japanese team, we know Shohei Ohtani is on that team. You know Lars Nootbaar is on that team. But how about this? Manuka Murakami was the Triple Crown winner last season, and in a final tune-up game hit 3 home runs for Samurai Japan in their game just the other day. So they had 26 players report to camp. Yu Darvish also on that team. So that's a pretty good 1-2 punch of having Shohei Ohtani and Yu Darvish pitching for you for this pool play.
Well, the pretty high level, I think it'd be natural to expect something from the KBO and the Japanese Major League. We'd expect them to perform pretty well. Meanwhile, the Latin American countries, in particular, Dominican, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and of course the United States. The Netherlands, in my view, it's just one game. It's just pool play. Kind of upset Cuba, and they look pretty good in what I thought was a pretty dull game.
And as Rammer deals with his New York hotel Wi-Fi, as you could see there, I'll just the last one that we haven't run down yet is that Chinese team. China again, no major leaguers on their team either. So as you look through the rosters of some of these other teams that we're going to see playing here in these next few days, that's kind of what we're stuck with. So Rammer, tomorrow after the SLU Billikens play at 1:00 Central, they're in New York, and after they win their game, you're going to head back to the hotel, and we are going to do one of these before the evening games tomorrow night, which will give us the Czech Republic and China playing tomorrow night. Also tomorrow night, Cuba and Panama playing a game tomorrow night. And we do not start any of the stateside games until the 11th. So on the 11th is when we will get those games coming over here in the U.S. and more notable names.
I'm watching USA play the Giants right now in Arizona. The Giants are winning 4-1. It's an okay game. Again, they all feel like spring training games when you watch them in the caliber of play. And, it's been okay. I think we're going to have to get out of pool play. Hopefully I'm pleasantly surprised if we get some really good, exciting action before bracket play. We'll see.
One thing to watch, I saw earlier today. If you like this kind of stuff, I thought it was cute. Earlier today, I believe he is. I believe he's playing. I'm trying to look who he's playing for because Kike Hernandez. I was trying to see who the Red Sox played in their game earlier, but Kike Hernandez on the Red Sox, but playing for Puerto Rico. In the game, he got dressed and got his stuff out of his locker in the Red Sox clubhouse, and then walked from the Red Sox clubhouse out through the dugout, up the stairs, across the way into the Puerto Rican dugout to to join his team as he walks by all of his Red Sox teammates, just looking at him as he's in a different uniform.
Yeah, I think those kind of stories and those kind of situations are
Rammer,
fun. And I think those things are kind of fun, and I think there's a sort of a camaraderie feel for all these games, and especially in pool play. And again, I think it ramps up with intensity when we get out of pool play. We'll see.
We will see, and we will see you tomorrow afternoon. Rammer is going to be in a much better spot too, Wi-Fi wise.
This is the only room I got, buddy.
we'll be better. Hey, it'll be better tomorrow, and we'll both be nice and refreshed after you haven't been traveling all day and I haven't been up all day. So we will we'll have a lot more games to recap and to preview tomorrow here on Daily WBC Live. Hey, we're brought to you every day by Royal Banks of St. Louis, Mungenast St. Louis Acura, and Mungenast Burkhardt Alton Toyota, the official spring training sponsor here on ClaibsOnline.com. If you haven't seen it yet, Mike Claiborne drove down the 2023 Highlander to spring training a few months ago. I'm going to be down there driving it back next week. A beautiful car that Claibs has just ranted and raved all about this past month or two, and
Nice.
I can't wait to get behind the wheel of it next week. At this time, I'll be down there taking in baseball games down in Miami, courtesy of all of our sponsors. Until tomorrow, hey, he's Bob Ramsey. Catch him on the call with the awesome one, Earl Austin Jr. What time's pregame, Rammer, for that game tomorrow?
Tomorrow Central Time be 12:47 on KMOX.
All right, check them out. The Billikens at Loyola tomorrow. Is that who they have tomorrow?
We'll play George Mason tomorrow.
George Mason tomorrow. I'm sorry. George Mason and the Billikens in round 1 of the Atlantic 10 tournament. And then we will be with you for Daily World Baseball Classic Live after that. He's Rammer.
Yep.
I'm Joe. We will talk to you tomorrow right here on ClaibsOnline.com.
From our roots in St. Louis, Royal Banks of Missouri is branching out to continue serving you with our locations in St. Charles, Jerseyville, Granite City, and now in Hannibal, Center, and New London. Royal Banks of Missouri, the community bank in your community.